The Houston Texans on the road to take on the NFL's best, the Kansas City Chiefs. We know about the star power in this one. Patrick Mahomes, CJ Stroud, DeAndre Hopkins, Nico Collins, Chris Jones, Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson. We know all about the stars in this one, okay? But who better ball? Non-stars in this matchup. They need to have a good day for their team to have a chance in this matchup, powered by my friends at BetUS. Let's start on the offensive line for the Houston Texans. Let's go with Titus Howard at left guard. Look, Howard made the move from right tackle to left guard last week, and it was fine. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't really, really bad. The Texans did not have a good rushing attack. And you know what they love to do? They love to run left. That's going to be Laramie Tunsil and Titus Howard taking care of their business over there on the left side. So Titus Howard is going to have to get things going on the ground. He's going to have to get things going with this rushing attack. But a couple of years ago, Titus Howard, playing left guard, went up against Chris Jones, the Kansas City Chiefs, the all-world defensive tackle, Chris Jones. And Titus Howard had one hell of a day pass blocking against Chris Jones. It was Chris Jones's lowest pass rush rating, according to Pro Football Focus, all season long. It was one of Titus's best games at left guard in that matchup. He's got to do something similar against the Chiefs again, because the Chiefs are going to bring a lot of heat on those three interior Texans offensive linemen. Titus Howard, Jared Patterson, Shaq Mason. Those three have got to be much, much better than the interior has been throughout the course of the season, or the offense will simply go nowhere for the Houston Texans. It starts with Chris Jones, but a lot of other impressive pass rushers on that defensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs. And oh yeah, Steve Spagnuolo, their defensive coordinator, not afraid to bring some heat with a couple of extra players on a blitz. So the interior offensive line, led by Titus Howard now, have to be excellent. Titus Howard, he better ball for the Houston Texans. Let's flip it over to the Kansas City Chiefs offense. They've got Hollywood Brown coming back. They've had Xavier Worthy all season long. They added DeAndre Hopkins via trade, but Noah Gray, their backup tight end, or I like to call him their other tight end. We know about Travis Kelce. He's a monster. He gets in the zone. He sits down Mahomes to Kelce. We've seen it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. But Noah Gray is actually the third leading receiver on this Kansas City Chiefs team. And he's been excellent for the Chiefs for the past month plus. And when you start to think about the Texans, and you start to think about where teams can start to break them down, it's not going up against Derek Stingley. It's not going up against Kamari Lassiter. Heck, it's not even going up against Jimmy Ward in that nickel cornerback slot. It's going up against linebackers. It's going up against safeties. It's going up against players that typically aren't excellent at coverage. Noah Gray should be facing some of those players in these situations for the Kansas City Chiefs. And if he has a big day, on top of Kelce, on top of what Mahomes can do with his magic behind the line of scrimmage, on top of the speed of Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins' incredible hands, it becomes a lot for the Texans to slow down and to stop. But if Noah Gray's having a big day, the Texans are going to be disappointed in Kansas City. If you would like to be happy with a wager in this one, BetUS is the way to do it. YouTube 150 is the code. You can get a 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. We've got the game for you right here on BetUS. Texans, slight dogs in this one. Started as the favorites this week. Obviously, it flipped once we knew Patrick Mahomes was going to be playing. I actually like under the Chiefs team total on this one. I feel like the Texans defense can bring some heat on Patrick Mahomes. And though that ankle is not as injured as they made it seem, it is an injured ankle. So YouTube 150 is the code for a 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. And that's where we're going right now. Who better ball for the Kansas City Chiefs? The offensive tackles for the Chiefs. Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, Derek Barnett, Denico Autry, whatever else the Texans bring off the edge to get to Patrick Mahomes, the tackles for the Chiefs have been the weak link for the Chiefs on their offense all season long. And if the Texans are able to exploit that, get after Patrick Mahomes, and maybe some of that Mahomes magic behind the line of scrimmage is limited because he does have an ankle injury. It's not as bad as we thought it was, but he's still not 100% back there on that ankle. And so if they could get to Patrick Mahomes, force a couple of quick throws before he's ready, force him to make a mistake with the football in this matchup, and just flat out sack Patrick Mahomes, obviously the Texans are going to have a huge chance in this one. But if the Kansas City Chiefs are able to get their tackles to hold up in this matchup, well, they may have a chance to let Mahomes be magical in the pocket. They may have a chance to have him get the ball out to those playmakers that they have, and they can really, really put some pressure on the Houston Texans, who may have a tough time scoring against this fantastic Kansas City Chiefs defense. Speaking of defense, that's where we wrap it up here on Who Better Ball. Non-stars that need to show up in this matchup. I'm going to the Texans linebacking group. Henry To'o, green dot on the helmet. He calls the plays. He's got the communication from head coach D'Amico Ryans as they call the defense. With that, he's got a lot of responsibility. Last week, To'o was fantastic. He was diagnosing plays early. He was making plays at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage, had everybody set up and organized. That was against the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa. You can't make mistakes against the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes will find it. He will take advantage of it. And they're going to put the linebackers into coverage situations. Noah Gray, Travis Kelce, obviously throwing the ball out of the backfield to the running backs. The Chiefs will attack the Texans linebackers. They will go after Henry To'o. But if he's up for the challenge, if he does another really impressive job filling in for Azeez Al-Shire, that could go a long way for the Houston Texans in trying to get this victory against the Kansas City Chiefs. So Henry To'o on defense for the Texans, Titus Howard at left guard on offense for the Texans, and two offensive players for the Kansas City Chiefs, Noah Gray and, well, their offensive tackles in this matchup. So three players for the Chiefs over two Who Better Balls. You get the point. Who better ball for you in this matchup? Let me know in the comment section down below. On your way down there, thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You want to ride along on under the Chiefs team total, 21.5. I think they're going to score about 17 in this one. You can at BetUS. And when you get signed up, YouTube 150 is the code when you get signed up. Appreciate you watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. And I can't wait until we talk Texans again soon.